When clinical psychologists and public health officials study the relationship between mental health and cannabis use, the research almost automatically leans into a very specific, dark landscape of human experience. We look at how chronic anxiety, severe stress, or deep depression drive people to self-medicate, focusing heavily on how negative emotions push individuals toward substance use. But according to a fascinating psychological study published in the Journal of Affective Disorders and featured by SciPost, focusing entirely on negative moods misses half the equation. A prominent multi-university research team evaluated nearly 1,000 young adults to understand a much less explored dynamic: how positive emotional processes, specifically a person's risk for bipolar spectrum disorders and their baseline capacity for experiencing happiness, fundamentally dictate how cannabis impacts their daily life. Bipolar spectrum disorders are centrally defined by intense, dramatic shifts in human mood, swinging from low depression to states of mania or hypomania. While we typically view happiness as a purely positive, simple state of mind, individuals with bipolar tendencies often navigate a highly complex relationship with good feelings. They might experience positive emotions with an overwhelming, chaotic intensity, display hyper-fixation when anticipating rewards, or place an unsustainably high value on the pursuit of happiness itself. The study revealed a striking paradox. Young adults with a higher risk for bipolar spectrum disorders didn't necessarily smoke cannabis more frequently than their peers, but they experienced significantly higher levels of cannabis-related interference in their daily lives. Because their baseline internal states are already highly reactive and prone to risk-taking, the addition of a psychoactive substance acts like gasoline on a fire, causing cannabis use to aggressively disrupt their focus, derail their academic schedules, and amplify emotional volatility. However, the most hopeful milestone uncovered by the research lies in the protective power of genuine, natural, positive emotions. The data showed that young adults who naturally experience a higher baseline frequency of organic joy and healthy reward responsiveness demonstrated a vastly different relationship with the drug. For these individuals, higher levels of everyday happiness directly predicted a lower frequency of cannabis use, fewer cravings, and minimal difficulty stepping away from the substance. From a neurobiological perspective, when a person's brain is already successfully accessing its own native dopamine and serotonin pathways through healthy, real-world connections and accomplishments, the subconscious craving for a synthetic substitute dramatically plummets. Ultimately, this study shifts the entire narrative around youth mental health and substance management. It proves that helping young adults build a stable life isn't just about suppressing their anxiety or managing their dark days. It is about actively teaching them how to process, regulate, and safely harvest their positive emotions. By recognizing that a highly intense, bipolar emotional profile requires targeted, mindful coping skills, we can step in with proactive support before casual habits turn into functional disruptions. We must cultivate environments that celebrate authentic wellness, helping the next generation find balance in their emotional highs and low-stress stability in their daily routines. This vital psychological exploration was originally detailed by SciPost, and you can access the full research data and university findings through the official links in our show notes.